This is K1DBC. The DRC Learning Net will start in 1 minute. All stations, please stand by. Hello and welcome back to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net for October 8th, 2025. It's a great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics in general, and thankfully we have plenty of combined experience and expertise. This is Kilo 1 Delta Bravo Charlie. My name is Daron. I'm this evening's net control. Tonight we'll be taking your comments, check-ins, questions, updates, and more. We meet every Wednesday except the third Wednesday of the month, 7:30 p.m. Mountain Time on 145.490 and 448.625. Both have a negative offset. You can contact us via email at elmer@w0tx.org and most social media at Denver Radio Club. We also stream and archive some of our nets on youtube.com/Denver Radio Club. So if you'd like to see behind the scenes of the net or visual context, that is an additional way to view the net. This net can be broken at any time for emergency or priority traffic by using the word break. Is there any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All check-ins to the net will be taken in alphabetical groups based on the first letter of the suffix of the operator's call sign. The suffix is the first letter after the number in the call sign. If you can, please try to use ITU phonetics for the call sign and indicate if you have traffic or questions as you check in. You can follow along with check-ins if you'd like, w0tx.org/check-in. If your suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilowatt Delta 0, Charlie Golf Fox, Kenny, currently in Aurora tonight on HT, no traffic.
All right, this is K1DBC Net Control. We had a couple check-ins online, really do appreciate that, and we also had a check-in over the air. We had KD5EF Adam and K0BF Dustin checking in online, really do appreciate that. And then we also had KD0CGF Kenny checking in via HT. Once more, if your call suffix begins with the letters A through M, Alpha through Mike, please check in now.
Kilo Foxtrot 0, Foxtrot Papa India, Ron in Lakewood.
All right, in that time, Net Control would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. KF0FPI Ron, thank you so much for checking in. We'll go ahead and open up the whole alphabet We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes A through Z, Alpha through Zulu. Let us know your call sign, your name, and if you have any traffic or questions, please call now.
0TX repeater.
Kilo 4, Romeo, November, Yankee, Ronnie and Thornton.
Lakewood with traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. We'll hold up there for just a moment. Net Control, would like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. I think there was a double, but we had, I think, K4RNY, Ronnie, and KE0SUM, Jonathan, with traffic. Once more, if your call sign, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes, if you'd like to check in to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, just for the count, or if you have any traffic questions, we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Might be a quieter net this evening, not a problem. But we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes, all check-ins to the Denver Radio Club Learning Net. If you'd like to check in just for the count, or if you have any traffic or questions, let us know your call sign, your name. And if you have any traffic or questions, please call now. All right, nothing heard at the moment. We'll take check-ins throughout the net. This is about an hour long, so if anybody's out there just tuning in and you'd like to check in throughout the net, if you don't hear anybody talking, feel free to jump on in. With that, we'll throw it over to Jonathan, KE0SUM. Jonathan, with traffic, the net is yours.
Hi, Jerome. Thanks for taking the net this evening. Well, my information is there's a upcoming fox hunt. The first one this year. So, plus it's getting late in the year, so hard to say if we'll have any more. But, yeah, let's see. Hang on, let me move the computer. So the date is Saturday, October 25th, so there's plenty of time to get ready. Starts at 9, ends at noon. Has a 1-watt transmitter for the Fox at 146.565 megahertz. But, yeah, the Fox will come on for a minute and a half and then go silent for 3.5 minutes. And the idea is to find it within a given area. A lot of fun. It's a very informal group. A lot of people have joined, and we just know each other from doing these a lot. So if you're interested, we're always happy to help. But this hunt's going to be pretty good size. The southern boundary is Colfax Avenue, whereas the northern boundary is 104th. Well, that's a pretty good distance. Now, your west boundary is Federal Avenue, and your east boundary is Peoria Street. So it's a pretty good area, and you have to figure out where you want to start, how you're gonna go about this business. But yeah, if you need more information, contact Robert Polson, N0CFM at AOL.com. N0CFM at AOL.com. A lot of times we team up together. I've played solo a lot, but I've teamed up several times too. So a lot of times if you're a little hesitant, sometimes we can help you find a partner to ride along with. KE0SUM, back to that.
Excellent, sounds good. Thank you so much for the updated information there on that fox hunt. I'm glad to hear that is continuing on. As mentioned, N0CFM. You can find his QRZ page and more information on that. Really cool stuff. So yeah, October 25th, 9 a.m. to noon. More information on his QRZ page. Kind of just reiterating what Jonathan had mentioned there. So very cool stuff. Thank you so much for the information on that. So we'll have to see how that goes. So I'll have to try to maybe follow along. Again, the transmitters are on 146.565, and you can check in on the 145.28 frequency. So you can listen in for the activities there. Really cool stuff. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, anyone else on fox hunts, that event, or anything else? Go right ahead.
I'll mention one more thing, Daron. Fox hunting, normally everybody else does it with a handheld HT. Any kind of 5-watt HT. That's all you need, and I built a tape measure Yagi. Lots of YouTube videos on it. You can go to Harbor Freight, get a tape measure, get some PVC from the hardware store, and a piece of coax, and you've got yourself a Yagi. Pretty easy to build and understand, but you don't need a lot of expensive, fancy radio gear to do this. Back to net.
Excellent. Very cool stuff there. Yeah, great reminder. It really doesn't take a whole lot to get involved with this. And kind of just to reiterate, you don't actually need to be licensed. This doesn't require any transmitting. So if anybody's interested out there, licensed or unlicensed, this is a great opportunity to get into direction finding and radio orienteering and lots of cool stuff here. So yeah, really do appreciate that. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Go right ahead. All right, very cool stuff. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, I didn't see anybody else indicated they had any traffic or questions, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? We have plenty of time here still. 50 minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Please go there. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, these meetings usually last about an hour, but there is certainly no requirement for that. It's always nice to have some of these shorter ones once in a while. So we had, so far, we have 7 check-ins, a couple people checking online. Really do appreciate that. K0BF and Adam, KD5EF. K0BF, Dustin, really do appreciate that. So anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? I can certainly bring up a couple of articles or stories or anything club related, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Please call there. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. More information on our Colorado section over on the Facebook page. Let me see here. I just Colorado section Amateur Radio Relay League. So if you're ever interested in information about our division, that's a great place to check things out on there. A recent article about the amateur radio licensing update during a government shutdown. A little bit of a lengthy article here, but a bulletin was sent including information about the impact. Government shutdown began 12 Eastern on Wednesday the 1st. when Congress has not passed an appropriations bill or other plan to keep the government funded for the new fiscal year. Begins October 1st. The FCC, which issues amateur radio service licensed, issued a public notice on Tuesday, September 30th, indicating that it would suspend most operations. Aside from a few emergency and auction filing systems, all other electronic filing systems will be unavailable to the public until normal operations resume. Let me drop for a moment. VEC coordinator, manager Maria Soma, AB1FM, said the FCC systems appeared to go offline around 1 p.m. Eastern and are redirecting to a public notice. ARL volunteer examiners should continue giving new exam sessions. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep serving new and upgrade candidates. Do not hold your session results. Send them to the ARL. The FCC shutdown notice indicated the Corps registration systems would remain available for certain activities, but new registrations are currently not being accepted. This means that new applicants cannot register for an FRN. This has created a temporary barrier for individuals who wish to take an amateur radio exam but do not yet have an FRN. Existing users can still log in and access their accounts. So that is some of the issues there. End of the article here is, given the current situation, the ARL VEC will temporarily allow testing without an FRN, with the understanding that the applicant would take the exam and receive completion of examination. Once Corps resumes issuing new registrants, would go ahead and register for an FRN. And more information. So the amateur radio licensing update during a U.S. government shutdown. Original story from the 1st of October and updated a few times since. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else so far for this evening's Learning Net? Please call now.
K4RNY.
Yeah, K4RNY. Ronnie, the net is yours.
As you mentioned, the shutdown, that also might affect some POTA parks. I don't know about Two Ponds. I'm sure Rocky Mountain National is closed right now.
Excellent. Yeah, great point there, Ronnie K4RY. Yeah, parks on the air and some summits on the air might be affected as well, as national parks might be shut down during this time as well. So do keep that in mind if there were some upcoming events that you might were thinking about participating. Some parks might be shut down, so do check ahead before you drive out there to find that it's not available to work. Very good point. Yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We've got plenty of time here still. Anyone else? Please call now.
November 1, Zulu Tango Tango, Dan in Montello. No traffic.
November 0, Tango Romeo Papa, Jim in Lakewood. No traffic.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-ins. N1ZTT, Daniel, and N0TRP, Jim. Thank you both so much for checking in. I guess it's a good time to take official check-ins if you're just tuning in and you'd like to check in. Just for the counter, if you have any traffic or questions. We're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. This is the Denver Radio Club Learning Net, great place to learn about ham radio and STEM topics. So we're taking all call signs, all call suffixes. Please call now.
Kilo Delta 0, Delta Uniform Juliet, Chris Portable in Lakewood.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I'd like to welcome and acknowledge the following check-in. KD0DUJ, Chris, sounding great for being portable. Sometimes your signal's a little bit hairy here and there, but KD0DUJ, Chris got you checked in. It sounds great. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? We got plenty of time here still. Please hold now.
K1 DBC, KD0DUJ. I'm on a Motorola XTS 2500.
Oh, very cool stuff there. Yeah, I know how you love your Motorola gear. So, yeah, I'm sure that that gear works quite well in all sorts of scenarios. So the XTS 2500, very cool stuff. Yeah. Anyone else? Motorola gear is available to use. You can you can get for about $5 or so. You can download all the appropriate software and licensing to make some of the Motorola gear work. So if you're ever interested in some higher end HTs and equipment, that's certainly available out there for you. So anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anyone else on that or anything else? Go right ahead.
KD0CGF with a comment.
Kenny, KD0CGF with a comment. The net is yours.
Yeah, the Motorola equipment, man, I love it myself too. I'm currently, the HT I'm on is XPR 7550E. And it's been a great little radio. I'm currently sitting inside, so I'm a little staticky into the repeater. Going back to the shutdown comment, the other day when I heard it on the TV, I sat there and I was thinking about it, and I was talking with the folks. I'm like, I wonder, well, when was the first government shutdown? And I actually just looked it up when we were talking because you guys reminded me. November 23rd, 1981. That was, I don't know if that's actually accurate. Looks like it's accurate, but I thought that was interesting. KD0CGF, back to net.
Oh, very neat. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, it's always interesting with these shutdowns and whatnot, and then eventually a week later or something, kind of all just kind of clears up. So we have a country to run, and we can't certainly be stuck for too long without all the appropriate things that we need. So yeah, it looks like government shutdowns are happen more often than we probably think, and but they eventually do get resolved. So yeah, taken with a grain of salt from Wikipedia as well. So very cool stuff. Yeah, anyone else on impact of potential lapse in funding on commission operations, as the FCC puts the document out here as they state. So anything else on that, or anyone else on anything else? Go right ahead.
0TX repeater.
Air Control KD0DUJ. If anybody does get like Motorola XTS 2500s or 5000s or R7550 radios, I can program those really easy because I have all the software.
Very cool stuff there, DUJ. Really do appreciate that. A little bit hairy on the signal just at the end bit there, but do appreciate that. So if everybody's interested in having a Motorola radio programmed, you might have a local contact here within KD0DUJ. So keep that in mind if anybody's interested in that. Really do appreciate that. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I had looked up an article here recently on something called Phantom Power, 48-volt Phantom Power. So I'll just read a quick article on that. If you've ever used an XLR microphone for your computer or other kind of studio microphones, you'll know that it needs a certain amount of equipment to work. So very quickly, what is phantom power? In condenser microphones work on the principle of variable capacitance. In Britain, they're called capacitor microphones. Sound waves vibrate a diaphragm that is stretched in front of a metal plate. As the diaphragm vibrates, the distance between the diaphragm and the backplate changes, which changes the capacitance. To quote here, these tiny electrical variations, which must be amplified before they leave the mic, so there's an internal preamp inside the microphone. The phantom power provides the voltage to charge the diaphragm and also powers the preamp inside the mic. Let me drop here for a moment. Phantom power, commonly designated as plus 48 volts, was designed to power microphones without using bulky external power supplies, such as the ones required for tube microphones. It's a way of sending the DC electrical current required through a balanced XLR cable. We need that voltage to power the diaphragm and the mic's internal amp. When phantom power is turned on, DC current is sent through the XLR cable and delivers the voltage necessary to power the microphone. It's most widely used as a power source for condenser microphones, which have active electronics. In addition, true condenser microphones, as opposed to electret, require a voltage for polarizing the microphone's transducer element, and phantom power provides a voltage for both of these purposes. So a bit more information in here, but if anybody is interested, more information over on sweetwater.com, a seller of audio electronics and gear. So just some food for thought there. Phantom power. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, or any other comments or questions on that? Go right ahead.
K4RNY.
K4RNY, Ronnie, the net is yours.
Thank you, Drone. Just wondering if anybody had any memorable QSOs. I had one when I was activating Cherry Creek State Park, and I was doing a 50 watts on a little ATOS 25 antenna, and I ended up getting Australia. K4RNY.
Very cool. Wow. Yeah. Memorable QSOs. Yeah, that'd be great to hear. Yeah. If anybody has comments or questions on that, that's quite some distance to make from that park. So yeah, it's surprising how far around the world you can get with just 5 watts or something like that. So anybody else on that memorable QSOs? We'd love to hear you. Go right ahead. All right. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins on that? Memorable QSOs. We love to hear you out there. There are plenty of other. There's probably celebrities out there. There's. I know there's a King of Jordan. I think is a pretty popular one that people have mentioned from back in the day. Yeah. How far out there have you gotten? A great website to check always is PSK Reporter on the PSK map, and you can kind of see distances that people are making out there through either digital modes or analog. But yeah, anyone else? Go right ahead.
TRP.
N0 TRP, Jim, go ahead.
Yeah, this N0 TRP question for Ronnie there. Did you have any kind of a pileup that you had to break through, or did that take a while to make that contact, or were you able to get through right away?
No, I made her through right away. It was didn't really have a pileup on that activation. It was time they were coming in steady, and just heard his call came in, and I was in about 50 watts, and my antenna was probably is like on a little tripod, about 5 feet off the ground, and he's a 5.5. I mean, he wasn't perfect, but he was coming in, and it was a cool contact. K4RNY.
So fine business. N0 TRB, back to net.
All right, sounds good. Thanks for the follow-up on that. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, apart from running these nets, I haven't operated radio too much, HF or otherwise, in a bit of time here. So I wish I had a one that I could talk about, but I just don't right off the top of my head. But yeah, anyone else? QRP, non-QRP. What's maybe a memorable QSO that you've made, either recently or not recently? But go right ahead.
Evening. The time is 8 p.m.
KD0 CGF with the comment.
KD0 CGF, go right ahead.
So QSO. Every time I hear the letters QSO, I kind of know what it is, but my brain sometimes will just drop out and draw a blank. I don't know why that happens. It just does. So I sometimes have to remember what it is. One of the best contacts, or one of the funnest contacts I'd say I've ever made, was actually before I got my hand license. It was probably about 14. No, I was younger than 14. I was probably about 12 years old with my father, K0KKU, and he was working HF. And let me drop for a second. And the best memory I have of it was the gentleman he spoke with. I don't know what he said or what he did, but essentially it was around Christmas time, and it made me believe about Santa Claus. And I was asked what I would like for Christmas, right? Well, I asked for a metal detector and got a metal detector that year. So my holiday spirit for Santa lasted a long time because of that contact. That's probably the most memorable QSO I ever made, but who knows, before I got my call sign. And the furthest I've gotten, according to QRZ, comes in at over 10,000 miles. Sorry, I also have a busy lockout timer on mine. But the furthest contact comes in over at 10,000 miles. And I can't remember exactly what the contact or where it was the contact. KD0 CGF, back to net.
All right, very cool stuff for that. I really love that story. That's great. So yeah, yeah. Sometimes there's the Santa Net, which runs once a year, I believe, around Christmas time. Obviously, that's great to hear. And yeah, the 10,000 miles. That's quite a distance for a contact. Absolutely, yeah. And wow, very cool stuff. So yeah, anyone else? Yeah, we'll have to maybe try to dig out what that contact was, but. Yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, memorable QSOs, or anything else? Go right ahead.
K4RNY.
K4RNY, Ronnie, then that's yours.
Thanks, Jerome. Kevin mentioned on Sunday's net that I think it's through the Longmont Radio Club. They're looking for people to volunteer to play Santa this year for some nets they're doing, and I don't have the contact information. If you're interested, you might want to shoot Kevin an email. K4RNY.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's pretty fortuitous. Okay, wow. Longmont Amateur Radio Club. I think you can find them w0eno.org. Probably a lot of information on there for contacting them. So, if you like to play as Santa for this year on behalf of their club, it sounds like there's some openings. So, if you want to give a memorable moment, as mentioned earlier by Kenny, you can play Santa, and it's a great opportunity for people, for young kids to listen in on the radio, and for us to give back. So really cool stuff. I really do appreciate that. Anyone else? Go right ahead.
Katie Zero CGF with comment.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Yeah, right on their webpage, w0eno.org. And if you scroll down, Santa on the air, never too late. If interested, email, it looks like k0itp at w0eno.org. Kenny, KD0 CGF, go ahead.
sideband to see what my first contact was by voice. But digital mode, I got up to, that's where I did.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. It was pretty choppy on that transmission. I did hear 9,500 miles, and that was about it. If you want to try that once more, maybe reposition your radio, go ahead.
Sorry about it. Is that any better?
Yeah, that should be better. It's much more readable. Go ahead.
Yeah, the room. That was my issue. But the call sign was Zulu Sierra 6 Golf Alpha Victor, South America, which came in at over 9,500 miles for Johannesburg. And it'll take me a minute to look for my voice contact. But that was on digital FPA. I did all that come through, Jerome.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. A bit choppy that time as well. Your confirmation was much better just a second ago. I was trying to pull out that call sign Zulu Sierra 6 Golf Alpha Victor in South Africa. I did capture that at least. So if you want to follow up once more or anything, I think I did catch that. But if you want to look up your logs for anything else, go right ahead. Anyone else, though, go ahead. Or Kenny. All right, this is a K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else on that or memorable QSOs? Anything else? We got 20 minutes or so. Or if Kenny wants to follow up here in a few minutes or anyone else, please call down.
K0CGF. So my furthest voice contact, and real quick, am I pretty readable right now?
This is K1 DBC Net Control. Absolutely, Kenny. You're much, much better now. Back to how you originally were. KD0CGF, Kenny, go right ahead.
Cool, I think we're in business. I don't believe it. I believe I actually had a further contact than this. But my furthest contact actually comes out of Canada at 1,693 miles. And that would have been on the Hustler 5DTV vertical antenna operating on 100 watts. And that was on 20 meters. This is KD0CGF, back to net.
Excellent, very cool. Great contact distance there. I think that you said it was voice. I think up to Canada. So yeah, that's really cool on that 5BTV antenna. So really cool stuff. Yeah, it's always exciting to get further and further out. It always reminds me of one of the first scenes of that movie, Contact, and the little girl that plays Jodie Foster, and she's working on her ham radio and trying to make things out to Pensacola, Florida, and it's always just it's always fun. So this is K1 DBC Net Control. Memorable QSOs, comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Very cool stuff here. Yep, you don't need to have a I think would be referred to as a contesting station. You don't need to run a kilowatt of power, 1,000 watts to get across the world, really. As mentioned, QRP, another Q code there, 5 watts or below can get you quite far, a lot further than a lot of people might expect. So, and line of sight, obviously, on the planet Earth is the horizon, but there's over-the-horizon communication with HF, and then even into space. Line of sight into space is pretty much infinite, quite frankly, and you can contact the International Space Station on 5 watts and things like that. So plenty of opportunities out there to get your signal heard around the world using not a whole lot. So anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? We have another 15 minutes or so. Please call now. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? I can certainly bring up any other articles. Always a great social media thing to look out for is reddit.com/r/amateur radio. Some of the more popular postings over the last week. Someone was asking about would they get in trouble with the U.S. military if they turn this radio on. It's a radio from, let me see here, supposedly a Yugoslavian backpack radio with some mystery bands on it. Someone made a pretty cool-looking field power station inside a. They completed a 20 amp hour DIY power box, albeit more features. Includes external SAE ports. SAE being power, I'm guessing something. Let me see. Internal solar charger. Plenty of options out there. Plenty of cool stuff on there. A little bit messy, but works quite well. So if you're interested, pretty clean install though. So in kind of an ammo box. I can go through a couple more things here, but anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Anyone else? I'll go right ahead.
K4 RNY.
Ronnie, K4 RNY, go right ahead.
Any other POTA activators out there or POTA hunters? K4 RNY.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. Looking at your profile on POTA.app, it certainly looks like you are K4 RNY. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Looking at all the activations and awards you've gotten there. Really cool stuff in recent hunters and QSOs and activations. Yeah, anyone else, though? Parks on the Air. Go right ahead.
K4 RNY.
All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. I think the POTA Hunter is the kind of the one listening out for Parks on the Air. So there's certainly people going out there to operate, and then I think the hunters, I think, are the ones just listening out for. So if you're ever interested in Parks on the Air, but you don't have the opportunity to travel or get out there, there's certainly plenty of opportunity to at least contacting POTA activation and logging it from your home. If you have any other follow-up on that, Ronnie, go right ahead.
Yeah, we'll just piggyback on what Jerome just said. POTA's a lot of fun, and I enjoy going out to the parks and stuff like that, getting outside and playing radio. But as a hunter, most of the time I'll see who's also being spotted, and there's at least 10, maybe 15 people on 20 meters most of the time, unless it starts getting late towards the evening and stuff like that. So yeah, just go to the POTA website and look around and see what's going on out there and stuff, because there's awards for hunters and for activators. And, it's a lot of fun. It really is. K4 RNY.
Very cool stuff there, Ronnie. Do appreciate that. Yep, POTA.app. And they have a fairly big article on Hunter Guide. Reading the rules and documentation, contacting, listening, not transmitting, plenty of rules and plenty of opportunity out there and plenty of information out there for you. So, yeah, really cool stuff there. Really do appreciate that. Yeah, anyone else? Parks on the Air Hunter or Parks on the Air in general? Anyone else on that? Go right ahead. This is K1 DBC Net Control. Again, well, not again, but I've mentioned this in the past, and I do want to just kind of reiterate this. We can operate under the club's call sign under W0TX at some of these parks on the air. So please just try to let us know, because what happens is if you do operate under either our call sign or your call sign, you might get a QSO card essentially, and our license holder is Orlin Wolf, WW0LF. So he's just been a little bit surprised receiving some of those contact cards, not knowing that we've been operating. So if you do want to operate under our club call sign, let us know. But plenty of operations out there, plenty of cool stuff out there. So yeah, POTA, POTA.app. And plenty of there's other supplemental app Android or iPhone apps to help you with that. So anyone else, go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DBC Net Control. Another post from Reddit here, a trash tenna, a Yagi. As we've mentioned in the past, any antenna is better than no antenna. So this is just an antenna that someone made out of a bit of wood and tape. So it's really a ghettoized a Yagi antenna, but anything is better than nothing. So anyone else, comments, questions, check-ins, please call down.
0TX repeater.
All right, we have another 10 or so minutes. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins, please call now.
K4RNY.
Yeah, Ronnie K4RNY, go ahead.
I just wonder if there's going to be any challenges, ham rate, or anything like that you could throw out to the group and we could talk about it. K4RNY.
RNY, I really didn't catch what you had mentioned there. I think you said something about a challenge or something, throwing it out to the group. If you have something on that, go ahead.
My apologies. I was wondering if anybody had any challenges we all could just throw around and see what we could come up with.
This is K1 DBC Net Control. I think what he's asking there is, I'm guessing here is, does anybody have any problems you're running into within ham radio? Any issues with your radio? One thing I wanted to do once a year ago or so was not force, but have everyone use an HT on a net. That would be kind of interesting to try that, but I'm not having too many issues on my end at the moment, not that I can think of. But anyone challenges or problems that you're running into with ham radio or otherwise, go ahead. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I certainly have a radio that I need to have. I think I've been trying to resolder a final that blew, and I think it just needed resoldering and reheating, but unfortunately that has not worked. So I have a radio sitting in a VHF, UHF 50-watt radio that I need to get off the shelf and fix, unfortunately. So that's a radio that I'm having to fix and a problem that I'm still trying to work through. I'm not able to get the solder to reflow on one of these circuits for the final to work for VHF transmission. So that's something I'm working on. I don't know if anybody has comments or questions or suggestions on that, but anyone else, though, go ahead. All right, well, nothing heard at the moment. We have another 5 or so minutes. Comments, questions, check-ins, anything else? Or to Ronnie's question there, does anybody have any challenges or issues you're running into within the ham radio realm or otherwise within electronics, either licensing or testing or whatever it may be? If anybody has comments or questions or anything else that's come up, go right ahead. All right, well, nothing heard on that. So, yeah, anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Do appreciate that, Ronnie. Anyone else, though? Go right ahead. I guess our main challenge is getting people to check into our nets and to keep participating. But we do appreciate the hardcore that have continued to check in and do appreciate that. So whether it be our club or your own clubs, definitely continue to participate, because the numbers of operators is not necessarily dwindling, but aging out, and we need to get more people into the fold and more people into clubs. So thanks to Ronnie there, K4RNY. He stepped into a club officer role here recently. Really do appreciate that, along with Brian, AWC is his call suffix. So whatever you can do to help your club or other clubs, honestly, that's all that you can do, and really just keeps the club going. So anyone else, though, go right ahead. Okay, well, it sounds like we might be starting to wrap things up here. Don't hear too much just anymore just yet. So I'll see if I have anything else at the moment. But anyone else, though, please call now.
This is KM4CFT, just checking in and out from Roxborough Village.
Excellent, KM4CFT, got you checked in, not a problem. I saw your name and call sign come up in something here recently of a product that you released with someone else, so that was kind of cool to see. I was trying to bring that up, but KM4CFT, Jonathan, got you checked in.
Yeah, that's interesting. I haven't released anything recently. The only thing that's been new is that I moved from Highlands Ranch to Roxborough Park, and now I have a house.
Oh, gotcha. Well, congratulations on that. Very cool stuff. Yeah, I'll have to see if I can find what that was, but it may have been some older post, but that may have gotten reposted. But very cool stuff. KM4CFT. This is a K1 DVC net control. Anyone else? Just a couple more minutes. Please call now. Let's see, just to cover some club business, more information on our club, w0tx.org. Recent newsletter got released, so I appreciate that. New club president as well, K0KPS Kevin, has stepped into that role. So if you hadn't seen our last meeting, we had elections and some shifting went around. So long-time club president Jerry, W0GV, had stepped down, and as well as Mark N0XRX. So can't thank them both enough, quite frankly, for their years of service. And as mentioned, Brian KF0AWC and Ronnie here, K4RNY, stepped into a club board member role. So really do appreciate that. HamConColorado.com is coming up October 23rd through the 26th in Grand Junction. And AROL is asking for to help for HOA restrictions to be lifted. Sendaletter.org/HOA. Very easy thing to do here. You basically just go there, enter your call sign, and it will send some lettering to your local government. Anyone else? Comments, questions, check-ins? Go right ahead. All right, this is K1 DVC Net Control. Yeah, just very quickly, help pass the HOA legislations to eliminate HOA prohibitions on amateur radio antennas. Free the antenna. How can you help? By sending a letter to each of your congressional representatives and your senators. Is my individual letter important? They say yes. Representatives and senators rely on constituent input to decide which bills to support. Your voice counts. Background is ARL has successfully obtained congressional support both in the U.S. House and Representatives and the U.S. Senate to introduce legislation that, if passed, will eliminate HOA/private land use restrictions that prohibit amateur radio operators from installing antennas at their residence. Bills HR 1094 and S 459. So send a letter.org/HOA. Anyone else? Just a minute or so here, and we'll probably wrap things up. Comments, questions, check-ins, go right ahead. All right, well, it's getting later into the year. It's getting a little bit more quieter and quieter. That's all right, but it's getting cooler and cooler, which is nice. Weather-wise, it's always nice. With that, though, it's just ticked over to 8:31 p.m. Mountain Time. So I'll take this opportunity to take any final check-ins, comments, questions, last minute for the net. Please call now. Okay, nothing heard. Next week will be our club meeting, still to be announced. More information on our webpage will be announced there, w0tx.org. Will be hybrid, or not hybrid, just remote, online. So check out more information on there as it comes out. Can't thank enough everyone who participated in this net, 11 check-ins, and appreciate the club for allowing us to use their repeaters. With that, join us next Wednesday, third Wednesday of the month, 6 p.m. for an Elmers session. Very similar to this evening's Learning Net. And then 7 p.m. for our meeting online at w0tx.org. With that, nothing else heard. This is K1 DBC Net Control. I'll go ahead and close down the net. 7-3. I will be clear. Everyone have a good evening, and we'll talk to you soon. Take care. All right, everyone on YouTube, really do appreciate you checking things out on here, and you all have a good evening.